Is someone there? Must have been my imagination. Hello? How are we? Yelling! So for a moment there, I was like, uh-oh, did I have my microphone off? Have I been yelling at myself and unaware of it? Just screaming. Oh, hello everybody. Thanks for popping by. Sorry, I was staring into the swirling galaxy and ascending mentally. No, you weren't ascending mentally, you're just mental. How you doing? Sorry, I'm having to, like, make my own dinner. What was the fucking point of getting married? And, just setting an alarm so I don't burn it. That should probably be about fine. Yeah, that's probably about right. So yeah, in about 20 minutes I've got to go grab that. You can't say that! Don't you know wokeness is dead? I can say what I want. But you know what I have forgotten? To get a drink. BRB. What? Just water. Can't say that. It's 2183. Oh, speaking of which, I really should have, like, maximized the game. Oh no, we're visible. Okay, that should be us then. So, good news. Good news, everyone. We can stream for as long as we want tonight. No picking up the wife, like has been for the last several Sundays. Mondays, whatever day of the week this is. Which means we are just going to be getting through as many of the worthwhile side quests as we can as we launch ourselves off a cliff. Basically in prep for then just bum rushing the final act of the game. Importantly, as I tried to allude to with the thumbnail, we want to get Tally's personal quest done. I hear kitchen noises. Chopping board noises. Yeah, we want to get Tally's personal quest done tonight, which requires going and wiping out a few Geth bases over in the Armstrong cluster or wherever it is. And here, where we left off last week, if you can't tell, we are on the moon! We're sailors on the moon. Whalers. We carry our harpoons. Mako. But there ain't no whales, so we tell dull tales and sing our whaling tunes. There you go. Because the Alliance Marine Specialization Assault Course, whatever it is, the VI, so I almost said AI there. I almost got black bagged. The VI has had a little glitch, and all the drones and missiles and stuff have started attacking anybody who tries to approach the base. So we need to fix that. Of course, we started this last week, and I don't remember how far we got. No, I want to leave. There we go. So who do we have with us? Tally and Rex, our tech expert. Are you planning to romance Tally in the next two games? Of course we are. So I don't know if this is the one we've already cleared out or not. Let's just have a quick look. I think we only did one of the 3 bunkers. This one's clear. Right. And we can carry on from here. So how are we all doing? How's the last few days been treating you? When did we last talk? When did we last stream? I'm kind of losing track of time. Right, so for some of you, it was D&D last night. And then for the rest of you, it was Mass Effect a week ago. I think that's it. We'll get back to a normal streaming schedule soon. We're back to BioShock this Sunday. Back hurts. What did you do?
Like we're good, Commander.
In that case, Shepard is the kind of... In that case, Shepard is the kind of guy who would bet his Quarian teammate and then dub his penis the Tallywhacker. I never want to hear from you again. So what have I been doing? What have I been doing this week? I have been playing a lot of Doom Eternal for some ungodly reason. But I have found, because I took like a day away from it, on what is essentially the last like couple levels of the game, I'm having a really hard time getting back into it because the game is fucking exhausting. The only way I was able to make any progress was just playing it relentlessly for like an entire night. Really not enjoying it for the first couple of hours. Eventually getting into the swing of things. Starting to actually, dare I say, be alright. Then obviously, you know, I'm a human, I had to sleep eventually. When I came back to it a day or two later, right back into constant swarms of enemies, high-level enemies, late-game shit, and I'm like, I can't. I'm too fucking old. I'm too tired. I can't do this. Nope. I'm getting some audio glitches. Let us know if that's a me headset thing or a stream game issue or a stream issue. Just happens from time to time with a sore back. Hello, Phil. We do need to get back to Morrowind. Also, has anyone bought you Serious Sam yet today? I meant to check with Sam that he hasn't done it already. I mean, I forgot about it until right now, but we need to get you that game. That's why I haven't played more Doom Dark Ages. Tiring game. I have heard very mixed things about Dark Ages, as it's been out for, you know, a couple of weeks now. Reception on it has been a little bit cooler than the last two games. What are we doing here? Just smashing things. Oh no, the VI is trying to protect itself by putting tiny little barriers in front of its servers. Oh no, whatever shall we do? Whatever shall we do?
All targets down.
2243, Lily. And yes, I was there. Doom Eternal, is that how long it takes to complete? It feels that way. I can't believe I was reading online, people were saying that the game's too short. I just want it to end. Right, so that's
Perimeter clear.
server room number 2. One more. Already mentioned this, I think, on the last Mass Effect stream. Mild spoiler, but it's something that won't get brought up again for 2 games' time, so definitely won't remember. Part of the reason why we're doing this quest is because this is essentially the origin story of beloved character Edie from the next game. Essentially. And, basically, I think, yeah, basically a full-blown artificial intelligence derived from this rogue VI.
Hostile contact.
It was a barrier. Relax, Tally. I love the Commander Shepard School of Tech Support. Go in, shoot the computer servers. That'll fix it. Turn it off and on again? Nah, that's too subtle. Blow it up. Alright, let me through. Let me through. Let me through! Who would you say is the most autistic member of the crew? On this game? Probably Tally? Maybe Shepard. Maybe Shepard, honestly. I don't know. Sometimes you get that vibe. Oh, they're just waiting for me. Hey, guys. I don't like that. Tally, hang back. As for future games, Grunt? Maybe? Maybe he's more like ADHD. Liara? Yeah, Liara's like... I mean, obviously there's different places on the spectrum and different sort of manifestations. I feel like, you know... Honestly, I feel like you could make an argument for everyone. Rex is autistic for his shotgun. You know what I mean? His hyperfixation is violence. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Oh, Edie. There's another one. Well, that was fun.
Redeploying.
Think we got him, Commander.
Oh no, are you okay? Okay, there you go. No, I was not just using that as an excuse to look. I was checking her condition. I need someone who I can relate to. Like with Data and Star Trek.
Target.
Oh, well, yeah, you know what? If you want the Data equivalent, that will be Edie when we get there. Like, pretty much easily the closest kind of comparison. You've got Rex, who's basically your, well, I mean, the Krogan are basically your Klingons, I would say. I don't necessarily think Rex is automatically a Worf. I feel like, if anything, Grunt is more of a Worf. Kinda his storyline. Oh! Fuck, didn't see that there. Ah! AI hack. It's dodging missiles. Good God.
Negative contacts, Commander.
I found that an unnecessary addition, making Edie the VI on the moon, but it didn't hurt much either. It's, I think it's...
Enemy contact.
It's a little, like, nugget of information that you can miss. I think you only find it during the second to last quest in the third game. Yeah, second to last mission in the third game if you read a certain terminal. But hey-ho. Yeah, burst of white noise over all frequencies, deafens you, your hardsuit heads-up display interprets into a series of zeros and ones. 01001010, and I'm pretty sure that translates to, like, help or something. They repeat again and again, blanketing all frequencies until the lights of the final VI cluster flicker and die. Level up! You now gain a specialization. So, Shock Trooper, increased health, increased damage protection, improved immunity and barrier, make us tankier. versus improved damage. We'll go damage. I feel tanky enough.
That's the last of them.
Yeah, I will say Liara because she's the stereotypical, I do not process emotions the same way as you, as autism tends to be seen. I mean, I would have said, like, Liara is kind of a hard translation for, like, Spock in classic Star Trek, even right down to, like, the mind melding and everything else, and the very, like, takes things literally, doesn't really understand human humor and stuff like that. Pretty fuckable, too. Just like sexy Leonard Nimoy. It translates to watch Battlestar Galactica. It's great, and I'm great in it. Oh. Just checked. The binary did in fact translate or spell out help. I think I remember this from last time I streamed. Because I was like, I wonder what that translates to. Let's find out. Also, I knew you'd be the one to check, so I'm glad you didn't disappoint. I kept it on screen that extra length of time specifically to give you a chance. Now the real question is who's the Chief O'Brien of Mass Effect? Which character suffers endlessly? Let's get out of here. You know my brand of autism well. I know you well enough. Karth. Fucking Caden. Who's the Wesley? Yeah. Don't need to talk to him. Right, next mission. Let's just keep banging these out as fast as we can. Also, how long do I have until food? 5 minutes. I'd rather not, to be honest, but okay. These have lots of little seeds in them, and now I gotta spit them out.
Yeah. Just spit it there.
Thank you.
Finish it, just spit it out.
You know I can barely hear you.
I mean, spit it. Yeah.
Streaming. Professional streamer. Right, where are we going?
Message coming in from the brass at Arcturus. Patching it through.
Normandy? Admiral Hackett here. We're getting reports of a marked increase in Geth activity in the Skillian Verge. Surveillance drones have identified Geth outposts on 4 different planets in the Armstrong cluster. We need someone to take them out.
We have any idea what they're after?
Hard to say. They may be just gathering intel on us. Or maybe they're setting up staging grounds for hit-and-run attacks on human colonies.
It could be the first wave of an invasion.
Let's hope not. We need someone to investigate this, Shepard. Finding Saren is still your top priority, but you've got experience fighting the Geth. You're the logical choice to take out these outposts. We're transmitting all the locations of known Geth outposts in the Armstrong cluster to the Normandy now. Admiral Hackett out.
Hackett out. Right, let's begin. What we got? Gagarin. Let's go. So I believe there are 4 different Geth outposts we need to destroy, and each one gives us a part of a coordinate to a larger base, which is the 5th. And I think it's in that base where we find something for Tali. What?
Sorry. What is this for?
Bin. That's all. That's why it's just on the floor.
Yeah, that's weird. That's why I asked.
Okay. Fucking hell, sorry, I keep messing up this. I don't know, I always screw this up, the exit versus zoom out. Same fucking thing. Not a bit. Genuinely can't remember the character's name, so he's just Karth to me. I don't blame you. Right, here we go. Who's the Joker equivalent in Star Trek? I genuinely thought you meant the clown man. Well, that's the thing, because Joker is the pilot, but there isn't really a... Well, he's the helmsman. Pilot, whatever. But there isn't really a helmsman character in Star Trek. The role always gets, like, shared amongst various characters, right? So I guess Wesley? Which is, like, kind of an insult to poor Joker, but... I guess it's the closest we got. Let's see what this anomaly is while we're here. Wesley isn't a bad character, you're just mean. Change my mind. I don't need to change your mind, I just need to throw a brick at you. You never need to debate anybody on anything if you have a brick. That's the real lesson we should take from the cavemen. Look, I mean, Wesley can be fine. There are episodes where I do genuinely like him. Ironically enough, and this sounds like a veiled insult, but my favourite Wesley episode is the one where he fucks off the, I was going to say the Normandy there. He fucks off the Enterprise. But it is, like, the one which actually, like, does something interesting with his character. IMO. The problem is, most of his other roles are just boy genius who saves the day by being the fucking Star Trek Gene Roddenberry's stand-in for himself. He's just smelly. Season 1 Wesley isn't... I mean, okay, you know what? I'll give him this. Nobody was good in Season 1. So I suppose we can't be that harsh on Season 1 Wesley. When he leaves the Enterprise, and then, like, probably my single favourite Wesley episode is the one where he's in, like, Fleet Academy, college, whatever it's fucking called, and there's, like, an accident, another cadet gets killed or something in, like, a training incident, and he's basically being peer pressured to, like, lie to cover it up, to keep his friends safe. And it's like a genuinely down-to-earth, humanizing episode for the guy who, you know, throughout most of Season 1 and 2 is just, I'm so smart, I'm gonna figure out the space anomaly. Oh, it's the Traveler, this strange man who wants to take me away on mystical adventures away from my parents. Don't look into it. He wants to take me alone, out into the wild galaxy. He's gonna show me things I've never seen before. Ugh. Genuinely fucking unsettling. And I like that he doesn't have a I'm gonna big brain my way out of this situation, because he's kind of awkward and kind of doesn't really have friends his own age and doesn't really know how to deal with the situation. He doesn't want to upset his friends, but he also doesn't want to disappoint Pappy Picard, who he inevitably does. Good episode. Anyway, I need to go grab my food before it burns, so I'll be right back. The Traveler, the worst thing in Star Trek. Yeah. Alright, this is gonna be fucking roasty toasty, but... Yeah, the cover-up episode. Love that one. Caught it on telly not too long ago. I like sometimes just seeing Star Trek on TV. It's like, ooh. Voyager's on. What episode is this? Ah, yes. The one where Janeway and Man both become prehistoric newts and they fuck. That's a weird one. I'm just going to scrub from my memory. What are you called again? Man. Whatever. When Man travels so fast in, like, Warp 10, he travels back in time and becomes a salamander. Thank you. People love to jump on different things as being the worst Star Trek thing ever. But I'll take 10 musicals and 4 racist Wakanda episodes before I'll accept the Traveler storyline. Yeah. Ooh. I think we're hitting the best one first here. Right, how are we doing, squad? Ooh, we can max out our intimidation, which means we can now talk down the final boss. If we want to. Let's just spread the points around. Spread the wealth. Lift. You've got... You canny lift, Liara. Let's fix that. And as for you... Just whatever. God, it's quiet. Can't be arsed. I'm done with that puzzle. I'm just gonna bypass it as often as I can now. Ooh, now we have some upgrades. Oh, but I like me Thunder. I don't suppose we have an upgrade of that, do we? No, Thunder 6 is the highest. So, really high damage. But overheats a little faster. Accuracy is not really a problem because we are too good. Let's see, damage against synthetics, definitely what we want for now. Heat absorption, probably a good idea. Do we have any better versions of that? Surprisingly not. Oh, really? Just 3? Whatever. Weapon stability, sure. Right, how does this actually feel to use? Pretty low recoil. You can cope with that. Oh, hi! Hope that's not too loud, by the way. How is the game audio? Yeah, how is the game audio? I really haven't asked. Don't know if the gunfire is really overpowering or what. Seems fine to you? Okay. Some days, Streamlabs likes to tie the stream game audio to my actual Windows audio, and some days it doesn't. So, hey-ho. I can't remember whether that's when I'm wearing a headset or not. Well, this one was surprisingly straightforward. It's probably going to be another couple rooms. Ah, well, there we go. Something just appeared on radar. What's the Star Trek episode where a virus causes everyone on board to devolve and Worf ends up as a predator type thing? I liked that episode. I kind of hated it, but I know the one you mean. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, it's the plot. It is funny, like, how many Star Trek episodes just use the same, like, 4 plot lines. Ship gets a virus, well, I don't know. I don't know what they all are, but ship gets a virus is like one of the 4 main reused plots. And this time, it turns everyone, it causes them to de-evolve. Which makes no sense. Why did Barclay become a spider? Humans did not evolve from spiders. We do not share... spiders and humans share a common ancestor, maybe like 500 million years back. But that common ancestor itself was not a spider. Nonsense. I kind of just hate the concept of de-evolving anyway. Like, yeah, people will use it in, like, in actual, like, real-world science vernacular, but it's like, that's... You can't really de-evolve. You can evolve to regain traits where, you know, one of your ancestors may have also had, but that's not de-evolving. That's just evolving to suit the current requirements of your environment. You know, it's kind of like saying that whales are a de-evolution. Sure, you go back far enough. We came from, you know, fish, essentially. But when you end up having an environment where there's plenty of nutrients to be found in the water, more so on land, and it's an empty niche, then sure, you get some little land mammals, little rodent-y things which go, you know what? I'm gonna start swimming for a living. And eventually you get really good at it. And then just swim full time. Yeah, evolution is not a linear thing. It's basically what it comes down to. You can't really be more or less evolved. You just are what you are. Yeah, exactly. Evolution is adaptation, not progress. It's not a race. Oh, bollocks. I knew this. I knew there's going to be a bunch of geth outside, so why did I decide this would be a time to eat some food? Right, where's the Mako?
Outposts to go. The first step in a long journey.
Thank you, Liara. Yeah, we can leave. Listen, the science may have been a bit less than perfect, but the episode had great atmosphere. I do remember the Worf becoming horrible gorilla man. Bit of like a horror vibe almost. Would regression count then, since you're genetically activating older genes that have become dormant or vestigial? Yeah. Like, that was the logic of that episode, wasn't it? You're activating dormant genes. Which, again, is why the spider thing makes no sense. Nothing else? No. Okay. I'm never gonna eat this before it gets cold. Guys, mind if I just be quiet for the next couple of minutes so I can get some food? I'm just gonna mute. I don't know why I kept reading that as savory tentacle. I'm not even sure what it did say. I'm just reading it at the corner of my eye. Sensory, I think, if I remember right. A mystery totem. Prothean ruin. You find a Prothean data disk. It must have been dropped by one of the victims of the Thresher Maw's many victims. Okay. Can't remember if this actually does anything for us. Nope. Doesn't reveal anything new on the map or anything. Alright. I guess we can sell it. Oh, so the spider thing makes sense if you count junk DNA that humans collect from other species. Ugh. I still don't know how that would make any sense. Again, spiders branched off from whatever common ancestor we may have shared with them. Like hundreds of millions of years before spiders came into being. Like, sure, it's science fiction. You could justify it in any way with like, well, technically, you arrange enough genomes in any way and you can arrive at anything. That's like, okay, well, sure. But then at that point, you're not really doing the premise of the episode, which is, like, devolution. Wait, why am I doing this? I've already decided I'm not fucking bothering with the mining in this game. Have you found the big Prothean bollock on the Monkey Planet yet? No, but Monkey Planet was on my list of things to do today. It's probably going to be the next quest we try and find. We also probably want to go back to the Citadel at some point. I think there's a few last things you might want to... Actually, we'll probably go there next, because I don't think we ever actually handed in the Admiral Gohoku quest line. Or did we? I actually don't remember. So right at the start of the game, after we became a Spectre, an Alliance Admiral was like, hey, a bunch of my men went missing, and I don't know what happened to them. Can you investigate? And then we found out they were lured into a Thresher Maw by a beacon, so somebody had basically arranged for them to get killed. And I don't know if we ever actually let him know, because there is a part 2 of that quest line once we do. Taking quite a hell of a beating here. Just doing a quick auto repair. I love when you kind of break their legs and they start walking weird. Don't clip that. Oh, good afternoon, Jake. How are you? I was wondering what Mass Effect 2 and 3 would have looked like if the IP stayed with Microsoft Studios and didn't go into EA. Probably would have been. I mean, the overall vision may have been more or less the same. But, well, it's hard to say. I mean, we know... You've all heard, like, how... Drew Caperson? Yeah, the main writer in the first 2 games. Where he was planning the big kind of, final plot reveal to go, right? And now it got completely changed in the 3rd game because of a leak. Like the Dark Energy plotline.
2 outposts done. We're halfway there.
So it's hard to say. Looking at the different timelines and seeing how it would have been different. Now that you've defeated the Thresher Ma, you must defeat Thresher Pa and Grandpa. Beat up their whole damn family. Number 2. So, if I remember right, this planet fucking sucks. I swear this is a planet that I will get stuck in some rocky crater. The Mako will be unable to move. We'll break half our wheels. Because for some reason, all the things we need to find are at the top of insurmountable bloody cliffs. Love it. I mean, would it have become as slick as it did? Or would the aesthetic remain, like, sci-fi filmed in a Canadian quarry in the vibes department? I mean, you're asking the impossible. I don't know. Because I don't know what was an EA directive, what was art design teams changing. But it's pure speculation. I don't know. So what, like, Mass Effect 1's vibe is 80s movie studio set and filmed in a quarry, right? it's Star Trek TNG and low budget made for TV sci-fi. Mass Effect 2. The main things that come to mind for me are rust, rusty, ruined freighters, ruined scrap planets, and iPhone robots. Yeah, like, I think the thing is with Mass Effect 1, you could see this being, you know, with some liberties, you could see it as a TV show, which is kind of how it was designed. You know, it even came with a film grain option. Mass Effect 2, less so. Mass Effect 3, definitely not. Rusty scrap planets and iPhone robots makes me think of Disney-era Star Wars shows. We're very slowly sliding down this mountain. Also contrast. Very, very overly high contrast. Mass Effect 2 is unreasonably dark. Like, lighting-wise. I think the Legendary Edition is not quite so bad. Some might argue it messed with the art style or something, but, certainly the PS3 version of the original game. Not the easiest on the eyes. Fucking hell. Ah! Ah! Okay, audio is still cutting out for me? Is that just me? Or is that happening for anyone else? Geth Array is transmitting regular data bursts on an encrypted channel using the Alliance's own FTL comm buoys. It's not clear where the data is being directed, nor the content of the signal. Right. Well, wherever it is, we shut it down. Also, I do love that the Geth, this like really advanced artificial intelligence sort of race, military superpower, basically by galactic standards. Their bases in these open world segments will just be a few computer terminals in a field. Some fucking Gary's Mod GM Flatgrass shit, you know? Which again, actually backs up what I was saying about the TV show quality of this thing. Because this is exactly what they would do in Star Trek, right? You know, the Borg outpost on Gamma 5. We must beam down and find out what they're up to. And you find it, and it's just like, it's just this, you know? Must be a headphone issue. It's fine, as long as it is just me, I can live with it. Just making sure. If I remember right, the Reaper plot originally had something to do with the very hot sun in Tali's recruiting mission in Mass Effect 2. You are right, and if you remember, the very hot sun planet, Tali tells you at the end of that mission, has something to do with dark energy fluctuations. For some reason, this sun is dying a lot faster than it should be, by like hundreds of millions, if not billions of years. That's a bit concerning. Anyway, the actual planned plot was going to be something about how the galaxy, due to its overuse of, like, Element Zero, for, like, you know, the whole Mass Effect technology, was essentially, speedrunning the heat death of the galaxy. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what the science was, but it was something like that. And the Reapers in their, like, you know, very, very long-term thinking kind of beyond human comprehension brains were like, we are doing everything we're doing to find a solution to this problem. Even if the solution, from our point of view, is not so good. I don't know, it's a whole thing. Well, maybe I'll read up on it a bit more nearer the time, and we can talk about it maybe during that tally mission in the second game. Tally Zora and the very hot sun. Oh, I didn't even do that. I think that guy just self-destructed, spontaneously combusted. Anyone else? Oh, hello. Come on, destroy this one. Almost. I'm just moving back as it's deploying.
Outpost left.
Probably rocket troopers or something.
Slaughtering yet like this.
Oh, no, just regular assholes. Barely an inconvenience. Where are we? Where are we? Where are you hiding? Where are you off to? Okay, we're done here. We are getting through these pretty fast. This is what happens when we don't spend half our runtime chasing after every little metal deposit and mummified Solarian. Mass Effect 2 took both the used future of original Star Wars trilogy and the opulence of the prequel trilogy and added way more grit and sleaze. Yeah. BioWare got with EA because they did the PC port of the first game, didn't they? I don't know, to be honest with you. The fact is, I hopped onto Mass Effect shortly after the third game released, so I was never really, because it was originally an Xbox exclusive, wasn't it? The first game, or the first two games? I think for a while, the first game was Xbox exclusive. And then the second game, I think was PS3 as well. And I don't know what was happening on PC. That's a strange thing we've seen a big increase in with Star Wars lately. Scrapyards that show big ships being torn apart. It happened more than a few times. I hate to say, I like the vibe. We're talking like, I think it's Bracca or something is the planet at the start of Jedi Fallen Order. I think this is a case, unfortunately, of the Ouroboros effect of Star Wars in particular, just cannibalizing its own ideas. You know, in the same way that Tatooine, back in like A New Hope, was this, I was going to say original, but you know what I mean, it's basically Arrakis from Dune. But like, it wasn't meant to be this super important in fact, in the text of the bloody movie, Tatooine was a backwater that like nobody would ever think of going to try to find a Jedi on. But because Star Wars can't get away from its own kind of ideas, it kept going back to Tatooine again and again and again and again. So in a similar way to that, the scrapyard, big planet being torn up, big ships being torn apart kind of thing. Original idea to start with, and then it's like, hey, remember that planet in Fallen Order? How about we set an episode of The Bad Batch on that planet? And then it's like, hey, how about we take that same vibe, or maybe even that same planet again, and put it in another fucking animated show, and then we do a similar thing in Andor. It was Ferrix, at least in that case. I think they were doing a little bit of the same thing. And, again, every now and again, you expand the universe a little bit with a new idea, a new novel take, and then you take the piss, and you do it again and again and again and again and again, as you keep recycling the same fucking idea. It's like the Inquisitors, you know. First of all, ooh, what a novel concept. What a kind of original idea being brought to the lore, being brought to the universe. And now, I think everyone is fucking sick of Inquisitors. Because they show up every goddamn tale of the underworld, tale of the Jedi, tale of this, tale of that. And it's like, I'm you, John Inquisitor. You don't even need to bother learning my name, because I'll be dead by the end of this scene. Pretty sure they went to one in Mando as well. You could be right. I don't fucking remember Season 3 of Mando. I'm assuming it was Season 3. Yeah, hold on. In Mando Season 3, they're disassembling, decommissioning Star Destroyers on Coruscant as well. There you go. Another time they took the same idea. I guess to a lesser extent, you could also mention Jakku. But I'd rather not. Ah yes, the death of trying new ideas and forgetting they have an entire universe to work with. Like literally you have hundreds of thousands! Tens of thousands! They could have had their own factions. Yeah, but instead you have to keep going to the same handful, the same dozen or two. Ooh. What an odd skull. This massive skull is scored by deflected mass accelerator shots. The xenobiology files in your hardsuit computer can't identify the species. It must have been brought here from an unknown world. And you know what's nice about this? This leads to no further, like, quest lines or anything. It's purely just an odd little thing you can find. A little mystery, you know? Geth Outpost. Jakku was a blend of Tatooine and Junkyard. Yeah. Sir, it seems the Borg have set up their base of operations on a planet which closely resembles a 1990s Earth shopping mall. I found my least favorite thing in Skyrim, and that's playing hide and seek with your horse after they pissed off to try and fight an enemy in a wooded area. Oh, I see. So the horse has run off to rip and tear, and you're trying to chase it down. The bloodlust must be sated. Whee! Sorry, was making a cuppa. Have I missed much? You may have missed the one Star Wars rant that that you probably would have wholeheartedly agreed with. I don't think you were there when it started, anyway. TLDR, Star Wars keeps reusing the same ideas again and again, which is why we keep seeing scrapyard planets in recent years. It was like a novel idea, sort of something we haven't seen before in the movies, and then suddenly, you know, you get one good example of it in Fallen Order, and then, for some reason, it keeps reappearing. Sometimes, several times, the same planet. We are being shot at from somewhere. A minor inconvenience. Coming soon to EA Plus, the story of That Skull, an 8-episode 3-season miniseries. Odd Skull, a Mass Effect story. I honestly have no idea at this point if anything is actually officially happening with Mass Effect in live action. There's been that many announcements and then quiet cancellations that I've kind of just given up. even acknowledging it. You know, if it happens, it happens. That's all. I don't care anymore. Oh. He just fell from the sky. Oh, 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 If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. There's no reason for me to do this. I'm just gonna have to climb the mountain again. Why does this feel like an unnecessary epic duel? Off the side of a fucking mountain.
This is odd. I would have expected one of these outposts to be a main base of operations for the Geth incursion into this...
Hold on. This receiver's picking up some kind of transmission. Based on the signal strength, I'd say it's coming from inside this star cluster.
It must be a message from the primary Geth base. We can use the signal to lock onto its location and eliminate them.
There we are. And now at last, we go to the main Geth base. So, place your bets. You think this one's going to be the underground cave base? Like the Luna, the moon base we were just on? Or, the mineshaft base? Or the big concrete square? I don't even know what to call the other one. The generic pirate base. You know, basically there's like 3... Am I missing any? The 3 different interiors that this game does. You know? Okay, we'll scan everything else before we actually go there. Like, even Mandalorians had sub-factions based on, and I get a pop-up that covers up my chat. Thank you. Generic virus. Yeah, come on, Rex. Let's have a bit of fun. Even Mandalorians had sub-factions based on where they lived. Explore a bit of that in the background with your main plot. They're trying to make soup with 3 ingredients. All the while they forget. The seasoning of variety, yeah. Remember when Luke was the last of the Jedi? Yeah. I mean, that's a whole other kettle of fish, isn't it? I mean, I suppose that could be another example of the Ouroboros. Just you got one novel idea, and then you just keep redoing it again and again. We have a Star Wars story we want to tell. What are we going to do with it this time? Order 66 survivor. One of the last remaining Jedi on the run from the Empire. Ooh. How daring. I think that's why... I think that's a large part of the reason why Season 1 of The Mandalorian was so well received. I mean, okay, sure, it also technically had, like... Well, we later found out was an Order 66 Survivor Last of the Jedi in it. But at least at the time, it was more... Ooh, Baby Yoda! So that wasn't really the issue. But the fact is, it was exploring a different type of character that we hadn't Ruddy seen. Then, of course, we got Book of Boba Fett, which was, you know, another Mandalorian story. And then, you know, we just had the Mandalorian seasons themselves being done again and again and again. And yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada. Why did the Geth make their vehicles so weak to, anything? Their weakness is mild inconvenience. Oh, are we under attack? Or can I eat? May I have a crumb of food? Oof, okay, never mind. I was going to use Tally to try and hack one of those big guys, but turns out they just folded like a cheap lawn chair.
Rally round.
Nope, that one. Also, I don't know what all your bets were on, but the answer was generic pirate base. But they tried to make it look a bit more like a Geth base by slapping some Geth tat around the place. As Lathgeth falls, you hear music from across the room. On the monitor, a Quarian stands before a hushed crowd, warbling a mournful a cappella of Worlds and Innocence Lost. The recorded song is dispatched to the Geth worlds behind the Perseus Veil. The transmitter shuts down. Sure would like to have seen that, but hey-ho. So yeah, generic pirate base, but they just slapped some purple stuff on the walls. That'll do. That's how we did it in Star Trek. What do you think this is? Do you think this is just like a metro station? Like a subway station that they've just kind of closed for the afternoon to do some filming? Put some LED lights on the walls? I mean, they did that in Rogue One, didn't they? I'm ignoring that. Remember trilogies in general being the standard. Yeah. Oh. You discovered a number of encrypted Geth data files. In the proper hands, they could reveal much about the evolution of the Geth since their banishment of the Quarians. In the right hands, huh?
You lead. I'll follow.
We'll get to that. The blue shadow virus? There was one power in the galaxy the Force could not conquer. Capitalism. Fair enough. Can't wait for the Mandalorian film to be Din and Grogu playing with frogs for 3.5 hours. Sure, why not? It's better that than having another Moff Gideon show up. Moff Gideon's long-lost clone. This time with 2 mustaches. It would be cool if they made a new faction later in the series that could use the Force but followed neither the light or dark side traditions. I know there are neutral Jedi factions. Blah. Blah. Nah. I'm kind of fine with just not having a Force-based faction at all, to be honest with you. Also, I'd be very cautious of steering into fanfic OC Grey Jedi territory, you know? I like end of the day, Star Wars is still like a myth, and I think you kind of want to keep the light side, dark side, Sith Jedi dichotomy there. You could explore other things, you know? Like go the Andor route and just have like a political thriller that deals with the dark side in a sort of more nebulous sense of it's the Empire is representing, but you know, it's not actually got Jedi and stuff in it. Or you throw in the Yuzhong Vong, fucking edgy edgelord aliens who are so evil, even the Force was like, nah. True story. Let's not do that.
Shepard, I need to talk to you. It's important.
Is something wrong?
You know the data you took from those Geth control nodes? The information you uploaded to Alliance Control? I want a copy of it.
You want to bring this data back to the migrant fleet?
Those files have information that could be vital to our efforts to understand the Geth. It could be the key to helping us reclaim our homeworld.
If I give you this data, your pilgrimage is over. You'll go back to your own people.
Not right away. I'll stay with you as long as it takes to stop Saren. But my people need this.
You think you can use this information to destroy your enemy?
Not right away. We will need to study it. It could take years, but it will give us new insight into how the Geth have changed and evolved over the past centuries.
Go ahead, make a copy.
My people, I owe you a great debt, one I can never repay. The only thing I can offer in return is what you already have. My solemn promise to stay with you until Saren and his Geth armies are defeated.
Oh, you could offer a lot more than that, Tali. But sure.
I never wanted anything more.
Thank you, Shepard.
There we go. We'll always be nice to Tali. How you doing, O'Brien?
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tali, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Yes, Lily. Yes.
Shepard.
So long, Rex.
Shepard. Shepard.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
I think, have we become too friendly with him? Is that why we no longer do the Shepard? Rex?
Shepard.
Rex?
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
What for, Garrus?
For everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. I've thought about what you said, about eliminating the threat immediately, regardless of the cost. You were right. were right about Dr. Salient, too. Killing him was the only solution. This way, we'll know he'll never hurt anyone again.
I'm glad you see it that way. Keep that in mind when we meet Saren.
Don't worry, Commander. I will.
Yay, you've turned him into a war criminal in waiting. Omega on the Normandy be like, Rix, Ricka, Garrus, Karth. I was going to try and do a Caden, but nope, just Karth. Karth! How you doing, Karth? Cut it off! Garrus gonna go all Patrick Bateman. Gee, yeah.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
Those communications are classified, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. But you know the Navy grapevine. They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Another L2 flare-up.
Is this going to be a problem?
No, Commander, it'll settle down. It's rough sometimes, but they spike higher than a lot of L3s. Except for you, of course. Besides, I fared a lot better than some after Kinetics was through.
Why are we having this conversation? I'll be back out.
You distrust them that much?
You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified, because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures
Food is
and
concluded.
develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Get your knuckles rapped a few times, Lieutenant?
Yeah, you could say that. Our instructor was a Turian by the name of Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Sounds like a classic drill instructor to me. The ones at the Macapa boot camp were brutal.
Vernus didn't just push us because it was effective training. He liked it.
They should have made the sequel movies about the Yu Zhang Fong.
I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
I'm not sure about that one. I mean, I completely understand why they, at least with the first movie, went the safe route with Force Awakens. I think they went far too safe, and ultimately they kind of didn't really go anywhere with it. I feel like going straight into Yu Zhang Vong would have been jarring as fuck. I mean, the Yu Zhang Vong, even in Legends, was jarring as fuck. They're a bit too 40k, you know? Very grim dark. Galaxy destroying stakes, planets being razed to the ground. Chewie gets a moon thrown at him. Yeah, exactly. It's
Message from Admiral Hackett, Commander. Patching it through.
We just received your report.
not exactly
Looks
what
like
most people would be
Geth
going for the
incursion
cinema
is bigger
to the
than we
cinemas
thought.
for.
They were probably preparing for a major offensive in the system. We're increasing patrols in the Armstrong cluster to make sure they can't establish another foothold in the region. Nice job, Shepard. You saved a lot of human lives on this mission. Hack it out.
Hack it out. Force Awakens is an okay movie. I feel like Force Awakens could have been looked back on much more fondly than it is, had the rest of the series panned out, but since it didn't, Force Awakens kind of, in retrospect, looks a lot worse, at least to me. And, well, I say at least to me, I know for a fact that's how a lot of people feel about it. Like, we were very forgiving about a lot of the things that movie failed to explain, failed to really establish, you know, why is anything happening in that movie? Why are the stakes the way they are? Why is the setting the way it is? Why are the characters where they are? Because we assumed that it was all building towards something. and it was going to get explained. But since it didn't, the movie now, looking back, is kind of just like a hot mess of, yeah, they just wanted to, like, do A New Hope again. Anyway, I feel like we've rehashed this same conversation at least 50 times, so... It looks so bad knowing where it goes, or more accurately, where it doesn't. Here's an idea. How about a House MD type show for Star Wars? Add a little political intrigue for how healthcare differences for parts of the galaxy, and you get a lot of fun with how alien biology works. Almost like some of the more medically inclined Star Trek episodes. I mean, for real, I don't know necessarily about like a medical drama, like your specific idea. It's not exactly my thing, but I have always wanted to see a more
interior pressure with exterior atmosphere.
a more Star Trek-y type show in the Star Wars universe.
Exo Presley has the deck.
Like, my idea was always just the crew of a Star Destroyer just going on patrol around the galaxy, kind of weekly. Obviously, you're going to have your running episodic plot, but you could also serialize it, or all the way around. I'm using those
Alliance
terms
officials
wrong way.
report that a Geth incursion into the Armstrong
Just
cluster
have like
has
an
been
episode
repulsed.
where it's about
The Geth suffering heavy
finding out why a virus is turning all the crew
In the
into
event of future
spiders.
activity, the
Fuck
Alliance
off.
plans to maintain a strong security presence in the area.
No, I've had this conversation before. A bunch of times, and like I said, you could make a Star Wars show about a taxi driver in Coruscant, and if it's done well, it would be decent. You know? Point is, it doesn't always have to be the same stories.
Hello, Commander.
Getting told again
Show
and
me
again
what
and
you've
again.
got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
I'd love a show set in Star Wars that, like Quilliam suggested, wasn't war-focused, you know? A medical show sounds fun. Obviously no spoilers, but one of the last episodes of Andor, Season 2, does take place pretty much entirely in a hospital on Coruscant. And that was a really good episode. Not for the medical drama, but, you know, it was, it's the closest thing we've got, I suppose. Right, what are we doing? Are we ready for the Master Gear? Probably not quite. How do I compare this? It's barely any better than what we have, actually. I'm gonna hold off.
Hello, Commander.
Show me what
I'll open the rare stocks.
Sell, please. Sell junk. I think we'll just sell everything that's... no, we'll do it later. I need to go through all my companions and make sure they're all geared up before I start selling things. A soap drama that takes place on the Death Star. Romance, death, and many twists before everything gets blown up.
Presidium technicians are struggling to understand why a computer system catastrophically overloaded recently. Technicians are reportedly unsure of what caused the malfunction, or even what the system was originally designed to do.
Force Awakens was fun until the Starkiller base turned up and it immediately prolapsed for me. I was thinking about Starkiller base the other day and just how much I hate the fact that its only selling sort of sell factor was it's the Death Star, but even bigger. But I'm like, guys, how do you blow up a planet harder than what you've already done? You know, how do you blow up a planet bigger? It's blown up. You can't really do more than that. Oh, but we can blow up like 5 planets all at the same time. All right then. Why though? How many times are you going to be required to blow up multiple planets? Just overkill. Just unnecessary.
I gave you what you wanted, Shepard. We have nothing more to discuss.
It's the Death Star, but bigger, but worse. It's like a Dragon Ball Z thing. It's like you introduce a villain who could blow up an entire planet, and then where do you go from there? Well, apparently you do the same thing, but he's like, actually, I could blow up the entire solar system. You won't see me do it though, because that's kind of impractical and not that visually interesting. Because like mostly the solar system's just empty space. You know what I mean? It's called space for a reason. And now I could blow up the entire universe, which is also mostly empty space. So it's like, okay, sure, whatever. The Death Star drama will involve Tarkin and that one stormtrooper. As long as we get to see Krennic. Right, what am I actually doing? I'm kind of just roaming around. I feel like there are quests to be done. Might just be in the wrong area to start. Will we have the abortion argument? Let's go.
I'm telling you, this is not what Jake would want.
I don't care what you think, Michael. It's my decision.
I know you're hurting, Rebecca, but don't let your grief hurt your baby too.
Leave her alone.
Is this man harassing you, man?
Perhaps you can talk some sense into her.
I don't need anyone to talk sense into me, Michael. I'm not undergoing the treatments.
My sister-in-law here is pregnant, and she's refused to let the baby undergo gene therapy in utero.
Forget it. I don't have time for this.
Oh.
Who asked you anyway?
Okay.
Forget it, Michael. I'm leaving.
Damn it, Rebecca!
Oh. So we can't just peace out of that quest entirely. That's fun. Yeah, I saw your comment, Jake. You don't need to post multiple times. I just don't know what to do with that. There's a virus that turns people into smart zombies. That sounds lame as balls, gonna be honest. A lot of stories and legends were lame as balls. It's alright. Just know that I do, like, see comments. If I just don't read them, it's usually just because I don't feel like it.
Are the Quarians concerned that the return of the Geth will lead to more anger against your people?
The Geth killed billions and forced us from our homeworld. Most Quarians believe we have paid properly for our mistake.
I hope the other races view matters in the same light.
I love the elevator music. Then they turned the Star Destroyers into mini Death Stars, after referring to a battering ram cannon as a mini Death Star. We just don't need to be blowing up so many planets all the time. There's not that much strategic value in doing so, you know?
Hey, back again, huh? I don't suppose you got any credits to spare.
I spoke to my mother. She told me about what happened on Mindoir.
Did she? I wonder. People tied like prize hogs, locked in cages, clawing and screaming as they're loaded into cargo pods. And we couldn't reach them. The Batarian defenses had us pinned. Dozens died trying to advance. All we could do was watch as they hauled people away. I've been looking for 13 years for something to make that sight go away. What have you got, huh?
Right. Because forgetting is much easier than dealing with it.
What? You think I drink because I like lying in the gutter? If you don't have a better option, just give me 20 credits. A good bottle of whiskey. Enough to stop the dream.
What the fuck is this? No one understands me. Wah! Real sensitive, Shepard. Let's do it.
You want to play the martyr? Whine to the other bums. You want to get better? Try the Veterans Office. We've got 7 million vets. Someone else has been through this.
You don't want to help? Fine. I'll go to the damn VAO. Got nothing else to do but talk about my feelings. You got a smart mouth, kid. Funny how your mom never mentioned that. If she wants to talk, tell her she can reach me through the Citadel VAO.
There we go. We helped a man get his life together by yelling at him. Classic Shepard. Right, what actually else do we have to do before we potentially miss things? We want to find the monkey planet. Whatever quest that is, I don't remember. Oh, by Jove, we'll find it. Minerals, terrain insignia, I don't need to do that. Missing, oh, there we go, Admiral Kahoku. And Biotic Commune, that's another quest. We gotta
A research station on Noveria has reportedly been destroyed. The exact cause is currently unknown.
It was me!
Given the research conducted on Noveria...
I had a bunch of old canon books of Star Wars. The Jedi Academy trilogy is the one I remember the most. Never got through Heir of the Empire because I read it afterwards and it felt familiar. Huh. Because Heir of the Empire would have been released first, right? Because if I remember right, that was basically the first, like, proper stuff set after Endor, anyway. After Return of the Jedi. It was kind of seen as like, oh wow, they're finally continuing the story. Oh, you want to... Wait, how long have you been here? Sorry, cat is in the room and door is closed. What's up? There you go. She'll want back in a second. Citadel Tower. No, I've read the Thrawn trilogy, Heir to the Empire, Last Command, all that. I liked it, but it's funny going back and reading it in a post-prequel world, because like, obviously at the time, nobody knew what the fuck the Clone Wars was, or what the Sith are, or any of this. So you kind of, I mean, it works. You kind of got to use your imagination and sort of fit a few square pegs into round holes to make it work. And I think like subsequent media has tried to retcon a few things. It works.
Commander Shepard, could I have another word with you?
Fine.
Hello again, Commander. I've got a proposition for you.
She's changed her dress.
Since you helped me get information on the crime syndicate, I've gotten a lot more backing from my publishers. I'm investigating traffic
Where's the boob window gone?
now, and I wondered if you could help.
What do you want me to do?
I've heard rumors that the space traffic controllers are overworked to a dangerous degree. I can't get into the control room, but you could. If you planted a bug inside, I could crack the story.
This bug you want me to plant, could it interfere with traffic signals?
Absolutely not. I made certain that the frequencies it uses won't interfere with anything.
I can't promise anything, but I'll see what I can do. Give me the bug.
Give me the bug!
Excellent. Thanks again for your help. In the long run, this story is going to save lives.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of one of the most boring quests in the game. It sort of reminds me of that one unfinished quest in New Vegas when it's like, hey, I'm with the followers of the apocalypse. Can you go plant a bug in the Lucky 38 casino? We need to try to get a bug into Mr. House's private network. And then you do it, and then it's like, oh no, it didn't work. Anyway, here's some credits. Thanks for trying. It's like, goes nowhere, kind of waste of time, but whatever.
Commander, any word on my missing men?
I found them. What was left of them. They ran into a thresher maw.
A thresher maw? That's not... My men wouldn't just stumble into a thresher nest. Not the entire unit.
Somebody lured them there with an Alliance distress beacon. Placed it perfectly so they'd land right beside the thresher nest.
Damn it. I had a bad feeling about this ever since my team disappeared. An Alliance beacon used as bait, my unit wiped out. and nobody seems to know anything about it. Commander, I appreciate what you did. Now I need to do my part. The families of those Marines deserve to know why they died.
I hope you find what you're after, Admiral.
I will, Shepard. I'll let you know when I find anything out.
I think that's the main thing we needed to hand in. There's a bald guy here. Have we done this quest? This guy's got a missing brother. You may have found him.
I'm on a break. Talk to someone else if you need anything. I've got a lot on my mind.
Maybe I can help.
Well, maybe you can. You're a soldier, right? You ever head
I'm
out
not
to the
just some soldier. I'm a Spectre.
Oh, stream died.
A Spectre? I heard they were thinking about letting humans into the ranks. About time. Well, that means you can go anywhere you want, right? My brother's the captain of a ship called the Majesty. It was crossing the Traverse, and that usually means one of two things. They had massive mechanical failure, or they were attacked.
Any idea why someone would attack?
Privateers, slavers, mercs looking for an easy score. I won't give up on my brother. Not yet. I've got the coordinates for the last transmission from his vessel.
If your brother's still alive...
I'll forward them to your ship right away. Please let me know as soon as you find him.
I actually thought we may have found him already.
I really appreciate
I guess not.
what you're doing
Okay,
for me.
sorry.
Please let me know as
Let's
soon as you
catch
find
up on
any
chat. There was a few things. Give me a short series about B1 battle droids to start questioning their commanders. The ending could be bad, but it would be interesting. That's what we need. Less feature films, more side shows and mini episodes. I mean, I just love B1s, so I'd be more than down for that. They're my favorite little guys.
In a further development in the Eden Prime investigation,
I said,
has reportedly revoked the Spectre status
I'm
of
sure I
one of
said
its
on stream
operatives.
recently,
While
I
the unnamed
finished
operative has
watching
not yet been apprehended,
Skeleton
the
Crew.
spokesman confirmed that corrective actions had been taken.
Sorry, I'm trying to not talk over this asshole. Yeah, I finished watching Skeleton Crew. Kind of fun show. Again, if you want the kind of sideshow Star Wars story, which really doesn't, like, connect in, there's no cameos, there's no, like, and then Din Djarin shows up at the end or anything like this. Fun little Goonies pirate adventure. But there was a little, like, a moment in there where there's a droid shop. And he's, like, trying to find a droid that's been, like, taken. And he's, like, reactivating them all, trying to find which one's which. And there's a B1. He turns on, and it just goes, did we win? Turn it back off again. I laughed at that. I don't know whether I'd want a B1 story, like, set during the war, or, like... They've done a few stories in Rebels and that, where it's, like, droids which never got the shutdown order at the end of the war. And, like those Japanese soldiers who were out of contact and still fighting on an island in the Pacific, like, 40 years after World War II ended. You know, that kind of thing. That trope. Don't you love the bit with all the ships over Exegol? Who exactly was on Exegol? The ones in the stands watching the Emperor spoutbot. They are Sith cultists. What exactly that means? Oh,
After assaulting a group of Turians in a restaurant in the wards.
Conrad!
Initiated the assault, it has been ruled self-defense. Ambassador Udina has no plans to appeal the ruling.
Conrad's dead! Our stalker! Our fan! Our adoring fan! He got himself killed! I mean, I knew that was going to happen, but I thought there was a chance. Before we leave, let's go plant this bug, I suppose. A good question for another time. Geonosian brainworms. That was an horrible episode. Not as in bad, just horrible. Night Sister zombies as well. Yeah, that's Big thing in Ahsoka, too. Isn't there a side mission with an AI on the Citadel? There is. I don't think we've done it. But we'll leave it just that.
Exogeny officials have announced that their research colony on Pharos is being shut down. Difficult living conditions combined with poor yield of viable discoveries made it economically unfeasible to keep the colony going. Exogeny stock rose.
Yep. Alright, back to the ship. Let's go find this monkey planet. Planet of the Apes. Little lizard lemurs, more like.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Monkey. I knew you'd like this. You can kill them. Don't know why you would, but you can.
The commanding officer is aboard.
And depending who your companion is, they'll they'll have something to say. Right. Again, as we said a few streams ago, it would be really helpful if this game had a percentage complete on every, you know, system. So we have done Armstrong Nebula completely tonight. We will leave Virmire. Where to start? We're just gonna scan the galaxy now, I think. We should at this point have pretty much all the galaxy unlocked, except for Ilos, I think. Asajj Ventress revived some dead Gungans
Message for you, Commander.
to use
Just came
against
in over a secure
Obi-Wan
channel.
in a Legends Clone Wars comic.
This is
I want to see zombie Gungans.
I found out who set that trap for my men. The ones killed by the Thresher Maw. Damn, I hope you get this message. It was a group called Cerberus. An Alliance Black Ops organization.
Cerberus.
Top secret. Highest
Cerberus
security
mentioned.
clearance. They vanished a few months ago. Dropped right off the grid. Nobody knew where they went or what they were up to. They've gone completely rogue, Shepard. They're conducting illegal genetic experiments, trying to create some kind of super soldier. I don't have any proof, but I found the coordinates for one of their research worlds. I'm uploading them with this message. They're completely out of control. Somebody needs to stop them. I've done my part. Now it's up to you. This is probably the last you'll hear from me. Cerberus is after me now. I need to disappear before they find me.
Oh, no, we've been here. This is, we've definitely... Oh, it's the asteroid. How's it doing these days? Asteroid X-57 has been brought under control. Once repairs were complete, the asteroid will be carefully maneuvered into geosynchronous orbit around Terra Nova. Lovely. Anything else around here? Utopia. Oh, Eden Prime. Yeah, that makes sense. So this cluster is very much human territory. Because we've got Eden Prime there, we've got Terra Nova there. Because obviously that's Earth. So this is one of the closest systems, or clusters to Earth. So the further we get away from there, the more... What's up? You okay? You okay?
I'm crying.
Why are you crying?
Oh, because I'm not okay.
Because you're not okay.
Because I'm crying.
Why are you crying?
I'm not okay.
Because you're not okay. Why are you not okay? Because you're crying.
Would you like a
No, I'm okay. I'm fine. You can do what you want.
I'm fine.
You're fine. What are you doing?
Don't play my game. Really?
You're a weirdo. Steven, do you feel like Do you feel like, oh, Overwatch? Yeah, sure. By the way, just to be clear, I'm sure she's fine. I don't know what's up. Can I play your phone? Have your phone got any games on it? Yeah, sure, you can play my phone. I think he's just been eating spicy food. I think that's all it was. Is anyone... Oh. No, we've been there. I think. Either way, it's not the monkey planet. There you go. Anyone here seen Babylon 5? It looks 90s as fuck, but I'm intrigued. I have not. I have seen the rip-off show, Deep Space Nine. I don't know. I miss the mining minigame. The proper Mass Effect 2, not the shitty this game one. Okay, let's just keep hopping from system to system. I mean, if we pop into a system and we get a message, you know, a message incoming, patching it through. Oh, I was hoping it would happen. Then we're probably in the right place. Otherwise, nah. Okay, we can speed this up. You know, what is the monkey planet? Quest. I actually don't remember. Is it a missing probe or something? Oh, well, we've not been here before. Or we have, because that would be, mineable otherwise. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Cat's meowing now. Babylon 5. Good show,
Message
very
coming in,
political.
Big surprise, the Alliance needs you again.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett with Alliance Command. We've got a mission for you. Major Kyle, your commanding officer Torfin, has set up a small compound in the Hawking-Etta cluster. He's attracted a number of biotic followers.
Oh.
He's become an outspoken critic of the Alliance, and we believe he's mentally unstable. This could be trouble, Shepard.
What kind of proof do you have that the Major is dangerous?
3 days ago, we sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. That compound is a cult, Shepard. They call him Father Kyle now. He set himself up as some kind of religious leader.
This is interesting, because I've obviously done this quest a bunch of times before, but I don't know if I've done it with the origin story of this Shepard, where apparently Major Kyle was our commander.
What else can you tell me about Major Kyle?
He's not the same man you served under. He feels responsible for the Alliance soldiers who died at Torfin. His psych evaluations showed he couldn't handle the stress of command anymore. He was given an honorable discharge in early retirement. We'd hoped he would get better in time, but we underestimated how far gone he was. Now it looks like it's too late.
How permanent of a solution are you looking for?
We don't want this to turn into a massacre, Commander. Kyle is dangerous. I trust you to use your judgment. Hack it out.
Compromise to a permanent end. Major Kyle. Is this the place? Pressrup. Oh no, this is a fun planet. Clendagan. Clendagan is an arid terrestrial, slightly larger than Earth, but with lower density that reflects blah 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 blah. Clendagan's most striking feature is, of course, the Great Rift Valley that stretches across the southern hemisphere. What is most fascinating about the rift is that it does not appear to be natural. The geological record suggests it is the result of a glancing blow by a mass accelerator round of unimaginable destructive power. This occurred some 37 million years ago. So, 37 million years ago, a technological species with power, with mass accelerator weapons, essentially think of a giant railgun, it's basically how the weapons are in this universe, tried to hit something. I wonder what they could have been fighting. Obviously, you know, if you know, you know. And I do believe this gets mentioned again during the Leviathan DLC. Or is it Mass Effect 2, actually? That's one of them. It definitely comes back again. Who are we doing? We need to deal with some biotic cultist. You know what, Caden? You're a biotic cultist. You can come along. Don't talk to me about the Rakghoul virus. I was there when it was written. The woke Rakghoul mind virus. I'm assuming you've played KOTOR or SWOTOR, Jake. There we go. You're going to be perfectly mediocre. To match your character, Caden. Alright, fine. Not particularly good or particularly bad at anything. What else could we do? So where's this culty compound? That last planet just had Mars in the sky. Possibly. Is this what you're talking about? Because that's Clendagan. And that's the Great Rift Valley. Which, as we've learned, is not a natural formation. It looks different from... I know what you mean. Like, at a quick glance, it does just look like Mars, doesn't it? Babylon 5 seems ambitious, and I got respect for shows or films that achieve lots with very little. The special effects in Babylon 5 look primitive, but it's the imagination behind those effects that matter. I'll probably give it. I mean, I've only ever really heard of Babylon 5 in the context of it being that show that isn't Deep Space Nine, but as you may well know, Deep Space Nine is one of my favourite shows ever, so I should probably give Babylon 5 a go as well. Speaking of woke viruses, anyone read the very gross news about Mr. Musk recently? No? I mean, all news about him is a little gross, but nothing especially gross recently. I love driving. Driving safely is my passion. Responsible driving. Aye. You see, you think we're going to get generic pirate base, but then...
This is a private sanctuary. Outsiders are not welcome here.
They fucking give you the curveball.
I need to talk to the man in charge. It's important.
Father Kyle wants nothing more to do with the Alliance.
My name is Commander Shepard. Major Kyle knows me. I have to speak to him.
Wait. Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
I ain't walking all the way over there. There you go. Proper American behavior. Wonder how many miles to the gallon the Mako gets.
If you try to take Father Kyle away from us, you'll end up like those other Alliance soldiers.
Father Kyle says other humans are scared of us because they know we're better than them.
Normal thing to say. Normal human behavior. The only downside to B5 is the CG is dated, and you can feel it. It stuck with me because even though I never watched it, there was this trailer on my Batman and Robin VHS that I remember. Okay. I hear the first season of B5 is slow, but it sets up story threads that are paid off later, apparently. Anything I can steal? There we go.
I know you, the Butcher of Torfan. Why have you come here, Shepard? Why can't you leave us alone?
I didn't know I had a nickname.
What happened to those other Alliance officers? The ones who came before me?
They wanted to take me away from here. They wanted me to abandon this place, turn my back on my family. They spoke blasphemy. I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
Never beating the cult accusations.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you're endangering your followers?
I respect that you have come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless.
If you don't come with me, all your followers will end up dead. What kind of father lets his children die?
No, this was my fault. My children are innocent, pure. Please, I never meant for this to happen. I'm sorry.
Why does Mask Shep have that weird hairline? I don't know. But I know what you mean.
I don't want an apology. You have to come with me, Major.
Wait, if my children see you taking me away, they won't understand. They will attack and you will be forced to kill them all. You have shown me the error of my ways, Commander. Now you must give me time to explain it to them. It is the only way they will understand. Please, give me 1 hour. After that, I will meet the Alliance authorities at the gates of my compound and surrender without violence. I give you my word.
I'm not letting you out of my sight, Major.
I must do everything I can to keep any more of my children from suffering. This is the only solution.
We do this my way, Major. Now move out.
I'm just being a dick. I feel it's been a while. I've been too reasonable this episode.
You are like the others. A blasphemer who must die.
You big, stupid jellyfish.
remember what it's like fighting cultists? Sorry, biotics. I mean, cultists too. We had this problem, oh.
You're good to
Nope.
go.
Shit, wrong thing. Wrong thing. Unity.
We're ready, Shepard.
Fucking stuck. Come on. Come on, somebody do something to get me out of this. Guys, come. I can't move. There we go. Yeah, biotics are a bloody pain. You just don't want to let them gang up on you. When they start spamming out their space magic, you just be a ragdoll for the rest of your life. Pull the trigger, please. Thank you. That weird delay is still an issue. I kind of brought Caden with us because it's Femshep. Because I was hoping he would have some unique dialogue, being a, you know, biotic himself. But nah, I guess I asked too much of Caden to, you know, be interesting. There we go. Would have been too boring if we just took the guy away peacefully, right? That could have gone better. Nah. Oh, is there more to kill? I mean, there's more in this building as well, right? Here I go, killing again. It's the only way the galaxy can be safe. Don't you understand? They're a bunch of nutters. It has to be done.
Go, go, go!
Ow, my ears. Oh, Liara's dead. That explains it. Look. I wonder what Admiral Hackett will have to say. Shepard. What the fuck?
I will destroy you.
What? Do a flip. Gonna be honest with you, Jake. I don't really care for zombie zombie media in general these days. I think it's just one of those things that got overdone. Tech zombies. Like the husks in this game.
Steven, look her.
What are you yapping?
She's so gross. She licked her.
I know, she's a cat. She's disgusting.
Yeah.
She's an inherently disgusting creature.
Oh wait. Gross.
She's not doing anything to you. She's just sitting there licking her, you know, everything. Doing some yoga.
Go away.
It's not harming you, Uni. What's the Queen doing? The Queen's doing her stretches. Which is not really a sentence you want to hear.
Message coming in.
Oh, here we go.
Patching it through.
Admiral Hackett here, Commander. Your helmsman just forwarded your report on Major Kyle. We never like to see civilian casualties, but I think we all knew how this was going to end. You did what you had to do.
Hey, thanks for covering
These
me.
are going to pick up this story for sure, but we'll keep your name out of it, Shepard. Hackett out.
I'm surprised. Surprised, to be sure, but a welcome one. That he didn't yell at me more. Hackett's chill. He's got my back. Hackett, Anderson. They're the guys you want in your corner. Udina? No, no, no. He'll be dead. He'll be dead by the end of this series. I think that's what made it work. DS9 felt like a port. Babylon 5 feels more like an embassy, which makes sense. The station is in neutral territory. Sorry. I will say Babylon does its characters really well. Some may be more, maybe assholes, but sorry, I'm like halfway in a burp. That's not actually coming out here. It's really throwing me off. Some may be assholes, but it makes sense why, and even the characters, then characters have their own priorities and responsibilities that will hard pursue making me sorry. I'll give it a go. One of these days. You're just bothering the cat. I'm just seeing in the corner of my eye the cat just going, nyah, nyah, as Uni's you know, doing this to it. You tell me off for doing this. Hypocrite.
I'm not allergic.
What the fuck is that? Have we been on this planet? I mean, there's no immediate quest being attached to it, but I'm curious.
She just so like that. You make her. You scared of her. Creepy. Attack. It's so dumb. Attack.
Bother you. Don't mind me, I just had to beat the shit out of my wife. No. I had to go pester the woman. Because she wouldn't stop pestering the cat. No, I think the... Oh, you've got my fucking phone, don't you? I can't do my basic fucking task of Googling things when I need to. Well, I was going to try and Google something to back up my point here, but I don't have my phone because the wife's stolen it. She's ruined everything. Never mind. What the hell is this? We've got some enemies. What? Oh no, we're on a bug planet. It's an ugly planet. A bug planet. Arachni! Oh, this is a whole fucking quest line that is really, really easily missed. I've only done it a few times. So I can't remember if you can only do this after the Noveria stuff, or if it can be done anytime. But it's like, there are some Arachni out here in the fringes of space. They're supposed to be extinct. And then you were supposed to be extinct again. Because I killed you. I did it. I killed your queen. What's the story here? I had an inkling you were on the Starship Trooper planet. I think it was just the fact that I knew we hadn't been on this planet before in this playthrough. And going by the little thumbnail when you were hovering over the planet, I couldn't immediately remember, oh, okay, that's the planet with the or the, well, that's the monkey planet, or the, you know, whatever. It's like, I don't remember this. Which means it must be something. Something. I don't do very often anyway. Stephen, this could be avoided if you just let women have their own phones. Ha 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 ha. No. No, she has grandmastered herself on her own phone version of her game, and now she wants to, what's the term, smurfing? She wants to play against worse players below her level, and so she uses my phone. On her silly little not League of Legends game.
Oh, my game is silly.
Your silly little game, yes. That's literally illegal. It is! Oh, and we have hit, or nearly hit max carrying capacity. Had to happen eventually, didn't it? Open FTL
Mayday!
calls.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Lieutenant Marie Durand, 314th Infantry, Alliance 10th Frontier Division. The listening post has been overrun by unidentified hostile life forms. Request immediate extraction.
What are you looking at?
Commander, you see this? They just received a supply run 2 days ago. The Arachni worked fast.
Where'd that supply ship come from?
Checking. This base is supplied by drone freighters, dispatched at irregular intervals from different depots to reduce the likelihood of tracking. I have it. This one came from Argos Row.
Let's get this over with. Somebody needs an ass kicking. Whoever it is, we'll find them there.
Right. This Arachni infestation on Altair seems to be the result of a supply drop from Argos Row. The logs downloaded from the freighter should help you backtrack to its original point of origin. I don't think this one is the Cerberus. Cerberus have a few little fingers and a few pies in this game, put it that way. Obviously there's the Admiral Kahoku's quest line, but there's a few other little bases you can find, some of which do have a few experiments with Arachni, but I don't think this is that one. I think this one may just be a case of, like, some supply ship from Noveria unknowingly carried Arachni, and now they're just, like, an invasive species on a few planets now. But I guess we'll find out. Okay, we're done here? No? Nothing? Come on, don't bullshit me. Tell you what, it is actually so much easier just using a mouse. Just for these bits. Nothing? What is this? Not getting a picture? What time is it? That is 20 past 8. Yeesh. I wonder if they'll ever make another Starship Troopers movie that isn't animated. Well, haven't you heard? They're making a new Starship Troopers movie, but not in like the same continuity, and much worse. I don't know. From what I've heard, it's going to be taking the source material, that is the original very far-right novel, which the original movie that we all know and love, was kind of taking the piss out of, but they're going to be making like a faithful adaptation, not tongue-in-cheek, taking it literally, you know what I mean? Oh, it is? Okay, so that's the bad thing. The good thing is it is Neil Blomkamp, who at least visually is pretty good for like your sci-fi shit, but I'm just concerned that it's not going to be very good because of the aforementioned reasons. Yeah, District 9 guy. Oh, here we are. More Rachni. I remember this bit. There's a few Alliance soldiers here, holding the line. Yeah, talking about Starship Troopers, this is about as close as you get in this game. Got 1 minute to prepare. Try and talk to the squad leader here, don't we? Who's in charge?
First Lieutenant Durand, sir. 3rd Brigade, 14th Infantry Regiment, and I am damn glad to see you.
Hell of a welcome. How'd it get this bad?
Damned if I know, Commander.
Now I want to play Helldivers and squash some bugs.
We get supplies.
I'd rather fight bugs than blimmin' squid
we didn't see anything
anyway.
local that was more dangerous than lichen. Yesterday, these animals started coming out of the ground. No idea where they're from. This is what's left out of 90 men.
You're saying you don't like fascist propaganda? Not really. Not the biggest fan.
We do have a ship in orbit. We could bombard them.
Wouldn't do much good. They're moving around deep underground. The only time they come near the surface, and they're right on our position. You bombard them, you take us out too.
If that's all they had left, you must have done a lot of killing before we got here.
That wasn't all they have left. Not by a long shot. What we just fought was a probe. Our seismic sensors are picking up a crapload more on their way up from underground. We've got 5 minutes, tops. We might be able to hold them off if we were at peak, but you can see the fighting's busted this place up.
Secure those negative waves, Durand. You and me are gonna hold this worthless rock. Look to your people. We'll see if we can fix your defenses.
Aye, aye, Commander. You heard the man. Everybody pool magazines.
Don't know if this is a hot take, but Starship Troopers better than Aliens.
As good a time as any.
I feel like you're going to need to explain your thinking. Because I could see from like an action movie point of view or something. I feel like Aliens is definitely the better movie. Right, so we have hooked up the Mako to these turrets. So we're powering the turret supply, I think. To be honest, we'd probably be better with the Mako. I don't know. Right, we'll make do. Let's do this on foot anyway. Let's make this a little bit easier. Ooh, high explosive rounds. Tempting. Let's give it a go for a minute. Just gotta be careful we don't overheat, that's all. I don't tend to use these just because the overheating is really bad. Like, that's about as much as I can shoot before it overheats. Right. That's enough of that. Let's find some shredder rounds. There we go. 40% damage against organics. Ow. Splooge at me. I don't know why. I've always liked this mission. It's so different from like every other random side quest you find on every other barren-ass planet. Like, I don't know who was responsible for this specific quest, but they did a good job. Like, there's nothing else like it in the game.
Not much time left, Commander.
Mako's already fucked. We'll just leave it. I don't even know if I could get in that anymore if I wanted to. Dear God, this will either be a wild, enjoyable ride, or my ass may be clenched by how cringe this movie will be. Let's hope it's the former. Yeah. Neil, I never know how to pronounce his name, but District 9 guy, Blomkamp. He was supposed to be doing an Alien movie years ago, wasn't he? But then it kind of got shelved because Ridley Scott wanted to make Prometheus, or maybe it was Alien Covenant at that time. Thank you. I hate when they start scuttling at you really fast. Like they're just walking normally, they're walking, and then here they come scuttling. Nope. Nope. Scuttle. Maybe I can't just call down the rest of my crew, you know? Get every other party member here just to stand and hold the line. What are they doing? Come on, when's this wave gonna end? Oh, come on! Not saying I can't fucking kill bugs for days, but I'd rather not, you know? We done? Done.
Holy hell,
Yeah.
sir. Talk about a near-run thing. You alright?
I'm pissed off. When I get pissed off, I shoot things. Find me more bugs.
Around here, they're more likely to find you.
Ma'am, we're getting a
It's the
signal from
Mandalorian.
ground scan UAVs. A big hollow space about 500 meters under the surface.
Right, that must be it. That must be where they're coming from. My people aren't in any condition for a clearing operation, though.
I will say the armor from the Starship Troopers novel and animated movies were really cool. I remember seeing those animated movies. Didn't exactly think much of them, but I did watch them. They existed. In Deceased, Darkseid kidnapped Cyborg because for some reason the anti-life equation was inside him due to trying to get out of CI. They created a zombie virus and Cyborg teleported to Earth, where Cyborg accidentally released the virus onto the internet. Yes. Starship Troopers is more fun. It got the satire of Robocop while having a great scope and simple narrative whilst also being subversive and layered. Rico is shown being a hero, but he's also a pawn. Yeah. I mean, I like Starship Troopers. I just like Aliens more. I don't know. You just never loved it. Fair enough.
I have another mission I need to complete. I can't do it.
Understood, Commander.
Wait,
if you want to take
no.
a throw at it, we'll give you the coordinates. But it's your call. You
Yeah, I
saved
do
our
want to do
asses,
it.
Commander. Thanks.
So, hold on. There's listening post Alpha. Destroy the Rachni base. Go to the coordinates marked on your map and destroy the Rachni base. That's on this planet still. I need another Mako. Rachni infested mine. Or are we going on foot? Sheesh. Well, let's save first. I love when autistics infodump about their special interests. It's what we're best at. Sorry, I barely understood any of what you said, Jake. Don't know if some of that was typos or if I just am an old man who didn't understand half of it. Somehow, the Mako was in tip-top shape. It's completely undamaged, according to the bottom left. Fair enough. Just got a German Shepherd companion mod in Skyrim, and it's objectively the best thing ever. Even better than Aliens? Fair enough. The fire just makes it go faster. Yeah. I will say, I love the,
Heading out.
what would I say? the visual design, the props, the armor, the weapons, even the bugs themselves in Starship Troopers. Actually, saying that, the weapons, maybe not. Because I can't actually visualize right now what the, like, mobile infantry main battle rifle is. Like, I think in my head I'm just substituting it for the alien's pulse rifle. Like, the armor, the helmet, and everything else, that's iconic. But, like, the main weapon, kind of just a generic big grey rectangle. I don't know. But yeah, that's good shit. Speaking of weapon designs, I don't know if I've ever actually gone on this this rant yet, but as much as I do love this game, I have never liked the weapons. Look at that. Look at that big fucking big curvy thing. I don't even know. I can't make sense of it. Why has it got 2 barrels? What is it doing? And this thing, just a big rectangle. Looks like a toaster. What are we going for? What weapon were we actually using? The Kavilyov. Shredder rounds, and do we have a better heat sink yet? You know what? More damage. Overheating has not been a problem. Not too much anyway. Just a regular heat sink, that'll do.
Engaging target.
Oh, hi. Whoop. What did you say, Quilliam? Your messages have disappeared from me. I wish to know.
You're good to go.
Yara just fucking died again.
I'll be okay. Clear.
Right, Jake, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what you're talking about, and you keep posting more or less the same thing again and again. Don't you need to pick up your wife? You're right. Where is she? Uni, come here! Lily just reminded me I have to pick you up. Why? There we go. I mean, she was lying down in bed, but I picked her up anyway. With only a little bit of resistance. I'd leaked them so I could correct some word choice. Fair enough. Oh no, bugs! Invisible wall. Not invisible enough.
All targets.
That is exactly what I meant. Oh. Racknite jump scare.
All clear.
Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh! Emergency singularity. Always gotta keep one of them in the back pocket for a time like that.
Negative contacts, Commander.
Now, is there not talk of doing a Helldivers movie? I heard something about recent. I mean, I don't know. At this point, you hear stories about, oh, they're making this popular current game TV show, and it's like you'll never hear anything about it again. They love just announcing things. You know what? They're real announcers in Hollywood these days. But let's just assume that there is some serious movements being made towards making a Helldivers adaptation. How would that work? Like, genuinely, how the hell would you do that? Other than just making it, you know, the original Starship Troopers movie, but with yellow and black armor. You know what I mean?
Heads up.
I think we had this conversation during an actual game. Oh my god, it's a big guy! Instead of having it centered around like an actual main character, you have like a kind of running sort of bunch of NPCs, for lack of a better term. A bunch of characters who just keep getting put through the meat grinder, you know? Like, you kind of never really grow too attached to any of them. I mean, it kind of goes against sort of normal I feel like you gotta do something. You gotta kind of make it a bit more subversive. Play into the whole life is cheap and disposable. You're all just, whoop. Oh, these are biotics. Oh, that's a problem. And Rex is dead.
I'm okay.
Minute deploy.
Anyway, of course, the alternative is you just cast Jack Black as God Hellback. Either way. This just did. Local Scottish man caught eating his wife off screen. How do you know what I was doing? Don't read into that too much. Records of the Rachni War suggest that brood warriors, the male-gendered Rachni, only fight when a hive is severely pressed. It's safe to say you've eliminated the Rachni on Nipmos. I swear I heard about the FNAF movie back in like 2018. And then what actually came out, what? 24? 23?
Think we got him, Commander.
The Helldivers movie is going to be the same studio as the Starship Troopers one. I guess they want to cover the market. Okay. Seems a little bit like creatively and artistically bankrupt if you ask me, but whatever. You do you. I just don't really see the point. I mean, I really don't see the point in a Helldivers movie. Helldivers, and I'm talking about the original game, which I played, unlike 99% of people, the original Helldivers itself was an obvious kind of reference to the Villeneuve Starship Troopers movie. You know, it was obviously calling back to that kind of humor and that kind of story. And for us to go now back to just making a movie based on a game based on a movie, what do you know? Speaking of the Ouroboros of repeating ourselves, we're back to that fucking conversation we had an hour ago about Star Wars. We could never get away from it. Anyway, I think we're done with this planet. Imagine if they do any crossover series like Alien versus Terminator. Maybe in 20 years the fanfic writers will get a movie they want. Sure, why not? I actually wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Alien versus Predator versus Terminator. Why the fuck not? All those franchises have been ground into the dirt to begin with, so, you know. It's okay, Stephen. The movie will just be made with VO4 when that comes out, so no wasted resources, except for all the boiled oceans. But, shh. And I still can't find the monkey planet! Alright, I've completely lost track of where we've been. You know, if we're only going to have time for like one more thing tonight, I'm just going to Google where the monkey planet is. Because we're just like going system by system and you keep getting sidetracked with other things. So, this is... Attican Beta Cluster. Okie dokie. Attican Beta, there we go. But not the one where Pharos is. Right, so this is what normally happens. When I'm not rushed and like trying to stick to a 2 hours and no more per night schedule, I tend to do this mission right at the start of the game because I check this place first before I go to Pharos. Which, as I've said, is always the first main planet I do. And of course, I've already done Pharos, so I had no reason to come back here.
We're detecting your presence in the Attican Beta Cluster.
Stephen has monkey madness.
One of our surveillance drones was gathering intel on Geth activities in the region when it was spotted and shot down. You need to go groundside and recover the drone's data module before the Geth find it.
Lily, I just felt all of my smile and optimism just seep from my face when I read your last message there. Can't wait to see the Helldivers emerge from their pods and go, "For liberty's sake, can you believe we're just prompts?" And then takes off his helmet and he's Will Smith and he starts eating spaghetti. I hate you. Monkey! Right, let's go. Oh, we gotta bring Rex for this, because I love when he goes, "Who's got the data module?" That's my favorite. And then we'll bring... Let's bring Liara, because I want to hear her judgmental voice. No, I don't mind my current girlfriend seeing me kill monkeys, but future ones gotta think I'm better than that. Right, so there was a probe launched out here to gather intel on the Geth, but it's gone missing. Or it's crashed on this planet and we need to retrieve the data module. Oh, that's doing my head in. There is the Ratchet & Clank movie based on the games, which has its own movie game. So we got a movie based on the games with a game based on the movie based on the games. Wait, hold on. Because I am, like, passingly familiar with this. So obviously you had the original Ratchet & Clank. They did a remake of this for the PS5. They made a movie which was basically just all the cutscenes from the PS5 kind of spliced together, as far as I'm aware. And then they made... Are you saying they made a game based on that movie, which itself was based on the game? Which itself was a remake of a pre-existing game. I got that right? We got a movie based on the games with a game based on the movie based on the games. Yeah, it's just nonsense. Truly the greenest planet I've seen so far in this. I love this planet. It's so green.
This is the surveillance drone. But where's the data module?
A monkey-like creature seems to have made off with the data module.
Guess we're doing this the hard way.
We sure are, Rex. So, how many different monkey colonies do we have? Windows XP Greenfields. Oh, yeah, I love this planet. So, I love this planet's also actually, like, toxic. Because it's, I don't know, there's, like, pollen that we're, all deathly, allergic to, or something. Right, first of all, we gotta have a little look at the monkeys, don't we? Where's photo mode? Here we are. Look at their little snoot. Look at them go. Hey, Shep, don't you want to pet the monkey? They're more of a lemur. Rat thing. I don't have time for this shit.
Nice shot.
This is why you humans have such a violent reputation.
Oh, come on. Now. Oh, also, there's another reason to come to this planet. Rat lemur night monkey? What's the night monkey part of that? Little Rhodian monkeys. Yeah, honestly, they've got, like, little fly faces. With their horrible black bulging bug eyes. I really don't know if they're cute or kind of horrible looking. Crazy to think we came from them. And to them we shall return. Little Jeff Goldblum fly faces. Yeah, so, do you remember when we got, like, randomly sexually assaulted by the Asari women on the... That's a horrible way of putting it. We got consensually sexed by, what's her name again? The consort, on the Citadel. And she gave us a little gizmo, a widget, and was like, I don't know what this is for. Maybe you'll figure it out. Well, turns out, it's on this planet. Yeah, we came from monkeys. Brackets, rolls eyes. Well, I mean, it's kind of an oversimplification, but it's still, you know, generally true. What do you know? It's the orb. The orb. What do you think it is, Liara?
Ready.
Not helpful. What about you, Rex?
Let's get moving.
Can you guys not see this? Whoa! It's Horizon! Examine. Examining the strange Prothean artifact reveals a small irregular slot on the underside. Remembering the strange trinket you received from the Asari consort on the Citadel, you pull it out and place it into the slot. No, not like that, Shepard. The ball explodes in a brilliant flash of white light, momentarily blinding and disorientating you. Slowly your senses return as you wake from a deep sleep. You are alone in the forest, though you are not far from the caves you share with the others of your tribe. There is a pain and a small lump on the back of your skull, as if a chip of flint has been forced under the surface of the skin. Leaning on your bone-tipped spear for support, you rise to your feet. Caveman Shepherd. A sound draws your attention upwards, where a strange creature hovers high above you. It is unlike the birds you hunt by the lake's edge. It has no head and no wings, yet somehow it flies. It is a beast of shining silver, hanging motionless in the sky like a cloud. You sense it is watching you, studying you. Raising a hairy fist, you old man shake at clouds with your spear in anger, and the creature rises up quickly until it disappears from view. With a satisfied grunt, you make your way back to your caves and with the rest of your tribe. You fall into the familiar patterns of life. The hunt for food, the struggle to claim and keep a mate, the battles against other tribes that would claim your territory. Days roll into nights and back into days. Each time you rise from sleep, there is the sensation that you are not alone, that some other is with you, sharing all you see, hear, and feel. At these times, your hand goes to the strange lump on the back of your skull, and you remember the silver creature in the sky. The air grows colder, winter falls, you must range farther for food, clutching the furs tight against you to ward off the chill. It is one of those long hunts that the strange bird returns. You hear it before you see it, its call a deafening roar as it descends from above, swooping down upon you. A single great eye opens on the underbelly, a glowing red orb. You try to run, but a finger of red light extends from the eye and engulfs you, and all goes black again. You awake an instant later to find yourself on Elitania, lying on your back, the Prothean artifact looming above you, undamaged, and your companions standing over you, not being very helpful, as usual. They help you to your feet, puzzled. There was a flash of light, and you just sort of toppled over, one explains. Are you okay, Shepard? The other asks. You don't answer right away, wondering at the implications of what you have seen. The memories of a Cro-Magnon hunter, captured by an implanted Prothean data recorder. How long did they study the primitive humans, observing them and analysing the results at their base on Mars? And what, if anything, did they learn from us? I'm fine, you finally reply, realising that this is a mystery you'll probably solve later. By yourself, because they'll be dead. Wonderful. Because the Protheans were studying us. And what's really horrible to think about is the fact that they were this close to uplifting us as a species, right in time for the Reapers. We could have been killed in the cradle. I'm trying to work out which hominin you became. I assume it's just meant to be early Homo sapien. To be honest, I wouldn't think too much about it. You gotta kind of think about what is the writer's intent here. Likewise, I mean, I was thinking kind of, could you retroactively think that it may not have been the Protheans, but the Reapers there, when it talks about the red light and everything else? Because they were certainly aware of humans. But again, you have to go, no, the writer intent back at this point was definitely what it is. Right, monkey colony, monkey colony. Very monkey themed planet this, in more ways than one. It's the big Prothean bollock! Such a big revelation, and it's a text. Mass Effect 1 really is the link between the old school adventure games and what AAA games became in the 2010s. Yeah, like I was saying this earlier with one of the other quests we did tonight. What was it? Oh, the Geth base. When after we killed the last Geth, there was this like mysterious Quarian transmission, and it was like, wow, that would have been really cool to like see and not just read about, but. Development costs. I guess you can kind of get a lot of the vibe across. A lot of the atmosphere kind of in a well-written little text dump like that. I'm not against it or anything. It's just, you know. It's also gaming is a visual medium. You kind of could just visualize it. But whatever. It reeks of that Fallout quest with the lady with no vocal cords who signs to you, but only in text. Oh, we talking about dead money? Huh. You found the star map! Now you can kill Darth Malik! Imagine if they had the budget to show this. I say this, but this was made by the same people that made KOTOR. I'm pretty sure, in fact I'm going to check this, I'm pretty sure it was even specifically written by the same person. KOTOR writer. Is it Drew Caprician? So directed by Casey Hudson, who directed this as well. So obviously would have had quite an impact as well. Designed by James Ohlin? I don't know for sure that. Writer, Drew Caprician. So yeah, Casey Hudson, Drew Caprician, and there's a few other, like, important names there. Important names in Mass Effect, I mean, that I amn't seeing for KOTOR, but I'm also just kind of having a quick glance on the Wikipedia page. So yeah, it's a lot of the same people. A lot of similar kind of ideas. I mean, I've said this before, because you know what? Little behind the scenes here. Many years ago, I was actually starting to write a script for a Mass Effect retrospective. And I got as far as basically all the behind the scenes, sort of the making of, and blah, 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 blah. So obviously BioWare had basically been approached by Lucasfilm, or I can't remember now, maybe they approached Lucasfilm with the idea to do Knights of the Old Republic. But obviously, when you're working with somebody else's IP, you're very bound by, you know, certain restrictions for what they will allow you to do. Now, it being set, what is it, 2,500 years before the prequels, you're kind of free to do a lot, but you know, you've still got certain, like, topics you can't touch on. So in the end, they're like, you know what, we really enjoy this game, but wouldn't it be so much better if we could do it completely our own? If we could have our whole own universe to play with, our own lore, our own rules. And that's essentially what Mass Effect became, you know? So, literally, Knights of the Old Republic 1 was kind of the prototype, in a lot of ways, for Mass Effect. So you've got, like, the progenitor. I mean, a lot of these are also very typical sci-fi tropes to begin with. The progenitor species, the Rakatans in KOTOR, the Protheans in this.
He dropped the data module.
He said the line!
The data module is still intact. Your pilot should be able to relay this info to your superior.
The hunt across the galaxy. Very typical kind of RPG layout of going from planet to planet to try to find... you know, a thing. In this case, it's the, you know, the Prothean beacons and whatnot. In KOTOR, it's the star maps. Anyway, I think this is probably going to be the last quest we do, because that has been over 3 hours now, so I don't want to keep you guys any longer than that. I think... like, okay, there's a bunch of Cerberus quests that I could have done, but I think we'll probably just... TLDR is Cerberus have a bunch of bases on a bunch of planets, and they've got, like, Thorian creepers and Rachni and I think even some husks all in captivity, and they're doing nasty-wasty experiments on them, and Admiral Kapoku is going to be found dead in one of those planets in a cage full of nasty critters. Because Cerberus are a bunch of nomads. Human supremacists. Working outside the bounds of law. Doing all sorts of illegal experiments. In terms of companion quests, we've done Rex's, which is the most important to do before Virmire. We've done Tally's. Liara doesn't really have one. We've done Garrus's. the humans don't really have companion quests. So I think we're all safe on that front. Am I going the right way? Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Lily. So yeah, I think next week we're going to do Virmire. Probably dedicate the whole stream to that one big chunky mission. And then I think we'll probably just rush. I say rush. Do the rest of the game in the next week or two after that. So we're not that far off finishing Mass Effect 1. And in my opinion, it's all the best bits coming up. Right, so we're done here. I think we can return to the Normandy. You're going to do the Cerberus missions off stream? I might. Again, I don't think they're that important. Do I need to hand this in any way? No? That's the guy's missing brother. That's the Cerberus mission I just mentioned. We'll do that one later. Yeah, we're good. Alrighty, guys. Well, longer stream than usual. Perfect time to get some of these side quests done. Yeah, should be good. I'll just have a quick check of chat here because I missed a few things. You know, I find it weird that I liked Dead Money. I found the environmental design to be neat and enjoyable. I like Dead Money. It's very different to like the rest of the game and the DLC. It's a good challenge. Bloody hard. Bloody horrible. My guess was either Neanderthal or Heidelberg Genesis words. Because they mentioned furs, but that's because I'm a nerd. These monkeys are also far less annoying than the ones on Kashyyyk. Oh, they learnt their lesson there. Jeesh. All the noises those monkeys do are little, like, pigeon cooing noises, rather than that. Kashyyyk screaming. George of the Jungle reference. Very timely. This has been the best looking planet so far. I like it too. Although I think next week has the best looking planet. Scarif. Am I okay? Or is Phil okay? The one who's screaming. What's up, Phil? What's happened? Alright, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you on Sunday for some Bioshock. My favorite game. Good night.
Shepard?
Rex?